Hello, friends. Today we will talk about what is a mutual fund, how much only we can see on TV that mutual funds are good investments. Still, there is fear in my mind. What if I make a loss? Are they showing the truth in the ads? Many doubts are there why this happens because many of us are not aware of mutual funds and how it works. The biggest fear in people has that if I make a loss in mutual funds, if I lose my money, and our films have made this stock market infamous. So here I tell you, there are probably 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 mutual fund schemes in the US market. If you pick the worst scheme, you got a very bad advisor and he told you the worst scheme 99% chance that if you stay invested for more than 7 to 8 years, then your return will be more than CD or high yield savings account. You will get a 7% to 8% return, even if you select the worst scheme in this market. That's why there is nothing to fear and it's almost impossible that you will lose in the long run. But if you have selected a good scheme, then your returns can be as high as 12 to 15%. That means your average return can be between 7%, worst case 12% to 15% in best case, which is much better than gold, real estate, or any other asset class in the long run. That's why you cannot afford to avoid mutual funds because of this return potential. Investing in mutual funds is very important. You will get better returns. So now, as your fear is gone, let's talk about what's mutual funds concept, how it works. And with that, how can you invest in funds? And as a bonus, in the end, I will tell you about two such funds, which I personally like very much. So I will tell you all this and much more in this video. Hello friends, I'm Nawazish. Let's start. Today's video is designed for beginners who wants to know all the basic things about mutual funds. First, let's talk about what is mutual funds. Many people think that mutual funds are the only way of investing in the stock market. But with mutual funds, you can invest in gold if you want. You can invest in real estate through REITs. You can invest in bond funds. Or if, as you know, you can invest in stock market or equity, you can invest in all four through mutual funds. But mostly when it comes to the risk and return of mutual funds, the risk is high, can be a little volatile, but returns are high. Maybe it can go a little up and down. All of this is of equities context. This means the money that mutual funds invest in the stock market in that context. To understand the mutual fund properly, the important thing is to know the stock market. What are the basics of the stock market? Before going further in this video, I would recommend you to watch this video in which I have told the basics of the stock market. So your stock market's concepts will be cleared. Now, there are three ways to invest in the stock market. First, research yourself what stocks are good and what are bad, and pick your stocks for yourself. The advantage is that you are not dependent on anyone, you're not paying any fees to anyone. Disadvantage is that it's time taking. It takes time to find good stocks and undervalued stocks. You don't have the knowledge to do that, and it takes time to get the knowledge. The second is that you take the help of a financial advisor or an investment advisor to take help of an expert. The advantage here is you don't have to give time, just dependent on them. The disadvantage is you have to make regular transactions. An advisor can tell you, buy this stock, don't buy this, they will take their fees, but you have to do that buying and selling regularly. Third way is mutual funds. Through a mutual fund, you can also invest money in the stock market where you don't have to track regularly, fees are low, you don't need to have stock picking knowledge, you just have to select a good fund. Now, you know the basic purpose of a mutual funds. That purpose is, as for equity funds, to give you exposure to the stock market and to invest in the stock market. Now, let's find out how it works. See, if you want to invest $500 and you want to invest yourself or through an advisor has told you you can invest in Amazon, Berkshire Hathaway, or Google stocks. So that one share of Berkshire Hathaway Class A is above $500,000. Amazon is around $180, and you only can spend $500, so you can't buy many shares. And that's a big problem by going direct or through an advisor. But what a mutual fund does is takes $100 from you and $100 from someone else, like that it will take $100 from 1,000 other people. Now it has $100,000 and bought multiple shares of Amazon, Google, Microsoft, and many other companies. So if you were alone and invested $100, then you couldn't have bought diversified portfolio of big companies. Now, as there are 1,000 of you, so together you bought shares of 5,100 different companies. Now, people are 1,000, but shares are of many companies, so how will they be divided? So instead, mutual funds buys those shares and gives you mutual funds, units or shares of the fund. So think, those shares were bought, total of $100,000 is invested, 1,000 people have invested. So the mutual fund will give you units based on your investment. So all of you have collectively become holders of those stocks. So mutual funds allow you to invest in more companies for less money, which you cannot do by direct investing. Now, how mutual funds does this? They build a fund management company called investment company or asset management company. That company launches funds and asks people for money, like, we have launched a total stock market fund and will invest in all kinds of large, medium, and small companies. We have this expert fund manager who will manage your money. This is their track record. We assure you that we will give you good returns, so come and give us your money. So people like you, like me, who will be interested, some $100, some $500, $1,000, $5,000, $10,000, will give that asset management company for fun. Like that, all the gathered money will be called AUM, which is assets under management total money. So suppose that this time $1,000 were taken and 100 people were there. Now $100,000 have come. Now that company will appoint a fund manager who's an expert in picking stocks. Now he will make a strategy for where to invest this $100,000, $20,000 in one stock, $5,000 in another, and will invest that $100,000 in stock market and will give you that mutual fund schemes, units, or shares, which you can sell anytime. Money will be sent to your account in 1 to 2 business days. So this is the basic concept of the mutual fund. Mutual means shared, like sometimes we say shared rooms at hostels. A mutual fund is such a fund where everyone's money is shared and a pool is being made, and they are buying stocks with that pool money. It's the simple concept of mutual funds. Now, let's see the advantages and disadvantages. The first advantage is more diversification in little money. If you want to spend $500, $1,000, then you cannot buy many stocks. But in mutual funds, where everyone's money is pooled and is invested in many companies, so your $500 can be invested in hundreds of companies, which you cannot do directly. With little money, you'll get more company exposure and get more diversification. An expert is managing your money, so if you tell an expert yourself to invest $500 for you, then the expert will say, you have only $500. My fees are more than $500. So how can I give you advice? But in mutual funds, where thousands of people like you come together and pay his fees, then you get the expertise of a fund manager at a very cheap price. And the cheap price is called expense ratio. What happens is, if you are investing $100 in mutual funds, so for that $100 roughly, it depends on the scheme, $99 to $99.90 is spent on that scheme, and the company takes $0.10 to $1 for the expert's salary and operating costs. This is called expense ratio. The lesser the expense ratio, the better, which shows that your fund manager is charging the least fees. In USA, index funds like those from Vanguard have expense ratios as low as 0.03%, which means only 3 cents per $100 invested per year. Third, you invested money once, then mutual funds will keep on buying and selling stocks. So you do not need to do transactions again and again. So you can live your life comfortably without thinking that which stock to buy and which one to sell. Fourth, you must have heard about automatic investing. Once you set the automatic investment in your brokerage account like Fidelity, Vanguard, Charles Schwab, or through apps like Robinhood, that every month from your account, $100, $500, $1,000, as much you want, keep deducting it and keep investing in the scheme. That every month you do not have to do anything manually. You have put the automatic investment. It keeps investing what you save from salary and automatically will be deducted from the bank. You can stop automatic investment whenever you want and can decrease or increase it whenever you want. It's all at no charge with most brokerages nowadays. Absolutely flexible. Think that if the automatic investment is set but there is no money in the account, so the investment will fail, Many people fear it, but there is nothing to fear. It's not like check bounce, no major penalty is there, maybe small insufficient funds fee from bank, no other loss is there. So until now, I have told all the good things about mutual funds. So, is mutual funds the best? And there's no flaw. It doesn't happen with anything, and it's my duty to tell you the disadvantages and wrong things. First is the greed of that mutual fund company. Many mutual fund companies are there that want more and more money to come to their schemes. They will do a lot of marketing, hire more people, and just wants a lot of money. Because of the amount invested in that company, the company will earn their expense ratio of it. So performance is good or bad, that doesn't directly affect them. How much money is coming and how many people are investing, they will earn their percentage of it. So sometimes the simple focus of some companies are just marketing money, not managing it. Second, and this is a big flaw, it's not in the hand of the mutual funds manager when to invest in stocks and when to take them out. It's in your hands. If you give them money, they will invest. If you want redemption, saying you don't want to continue, give my money back. Then mutual funds manager have to sell the stocks and give your money back. So sometimes happens when the market crashes and all the stock prices are down and the stocks are available cheaply. So the fund manager who is an expert wants to invest in these cheap prices. But normal people panic that the market is crashing and I have to get out. So they apply for redemption and take back their funds. The fund manager in compulsion has to sell those stocks, which he invested at a loss, and give you your money back where he wants to make more money so he can buy cheaply, but nothing happens by him saying or not saying. If the common man at large would want to get out of mutual funds, then the fund's manager had to sell the stocks and give you your money back so you and that fund will both make a loss. Third, the entire fund's performance depends on the fund manager and research team. So sometimes the research team wants to save their jobs, they don't buy such stocks, which can give more return but is risky, they don't want to take risks. So many fund managers, to save their jobs and reputation, only invests in well-discovered and well-known stocks so returns are not as high as you expected. The scheme underperforms. If the fund's manager wants and has got a good idea in small or mid cap category, even then he cannot invest because the scheme's mandate and directions are restricted for large caps only. For this reason, the performance sometimes suffers. This does not happen when you personally invested any stocks you like, big or small companies you can invest. In mutual funds, sometimes mandates are restricted. Now let's talk about the biggest use of mutual funds. Mutual funds should be used for your goal planning. Like if you want to pay for your kids' college after 15 years, you need their education funds after 10 years. If your retirement is in 20 years, so you can select mutual funds according to these. Let's start with months. What month is now? August and September are usually college admission times. Your attention here now is tuition money if you start from today and select one fund for kids' education, and each month, as you expected it, if you expect you need $100,000 after 10 years, and from today you start automatic investment in one fund. So you get the expected amount after 10, 15 years. You can make one fund for kids' education through 529 plan, which is tax advantage, one fund for buying a house, one fund for your retirement through 401k and IRA. And besides that, you can take a fourth high risk fund if you want to go on a vacation or have a dream destination like Europe or Hawaii. These funds should be high risk because it's luxury, not compulsion. If you cannot go, then your life won't be ruined. So for this, take a fund that is a little risky. It can happen that you make a lot of money and go on a nice vacation, or you make a little less money because it was a high risk fund, so you didn't get good returns, made some losses, and went on a domestic vacation. But this is such a goal where you can take a little risk. You can't take a risk on a kid's education, should be a safe fund. Can't take a risk on buying your first house, should be safe fund for vacation. You can take it. So in this case, it's for an example, not investment advice. According to me, if you're planning this, then you can take S&P 500 index funds for safe long-term investing and one small cap or growth fund for vacation goal. So like this, you can design your portfolio according to your goal. I say it again, this goal planning is just for example. Your exact goal planning on you need, how much money you want, after how many years, how important is that money, depends on all that factors. Despite that, how many dependents are there? Is there any other earning member? Are the number of dependents going to increase? There are many factors. So you have to make a good portfolio according to these factors. As I said at this video's end, two funds which I like. So first, with comparatively low risk, In the index fund category, it's called Vanguard Total Stock Market Index Fund, which trades as VTI as an ETF or VTSIX as mutual fund. This gives you exposure to the entire US stock market with very low expense ratio of just 0.03%. And second, a little risky, but with potential for higher returns, Vanguard Growth Index Fund, which trades as VUG as ETF or VGAX as mutual fund, which focuses on growth companies like tech stocks. Besides that, to know what funds I like this year, you can check this video where I mentioned good funds for beginners. Also, I want to mention that in USA, you have two main options, mutual funds and ETFs. ETFs are exchange traded funds, which work similar to mutual funds but trade like stocks throughout the day. Many people prefer ETFs because of lower expense ratios, tax efficiency, and flexibility. Same Vanguard funds I mentioned are available as both mutual funds and ETFs. For beginners in USA, I highly recommend starting with these simple index funds like VTI for total stock market, VOO for S&P 500, or target date retirement funds if you're investing for retirement through 401k or IRA. Hope that you cleared your basics about mutual funds with this video. If yes, then don't forget to like this video. And yes, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, then press this subscribe button and bell icon so you timely get informative videos like this. And if want short videos like these, then follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. The IDs are on your screen. So I will be bringing more such videos. Until then, this is Nawazish signing off. Bye bye.